how is everyone doing today? My name is Bryce, or Willie, or Caveman Willie, however you want to look at it. And this is Finn. Finn is the bearded dragon that we did a video on the original channel, the BA Willie Moto vlog channel, of an unboxing. And Finn is our first reptile, or our first bearded dragon. He is a rather thin bearded dragon. Don't let him fool you. He eats plenty of greens and plenty of bugs. He just stays, he's always been a thin bearded dragon. And when you look into the bearded dragons, a lot of times there's different sizes. And I can pull out a whole bunch of different ones here in just a minute. And they come in a variety of colors. But they're still one of the easiest pets, I would have to say, to take care of for somebody who needs one. We'll get a little bit closer look at Finn here too. I'll bring him around. As you can see, he does have a little piece of shed right here. He is in the shed right now. As you can see, he's got some dinginess to him. And you can see where his shed isn't come off yet. He is in a concrete enclosure, which we will show here in just a minute. But this is Finn. This is that little bitty lizard we had. And now, bearded dragons, they're really awesome. Most of your bearded dragons, they're going to stay in a tank where the temperatures range from about 90 degrees all the way up to about 110 is about as hot as I would get them on. You can go a little bit hotter in some cases, just depending upon the size of the enclosure and the variations of the enclosures. Most of your baby beardies, I'm going to suggest start them out in small 20s. UVB, you definitely want a full length UVB on the tanks. You want to keep them in a safe place with safe substrate. Usually tile is what I suggest on a lot of stuff. I like running rocky enclosures because it keeps all of their, come here Finn, it keeps their nails down when you do the rocky enclosures. And he's going to start getting lively with me now. He's pancaking out now that we're doing this. He's like, yeah, nope, done. Alright. Say, he's having some fun, huh, Finny? Say, you just got some collards, too. They eat an arrangement now. Most of your bearded dragons, they're going to eat anything from greens to bugs. They're not really picky. I've seen them eat mice before, little baby mice. The bearded dragons are not picky. Great pets, and they just kind of chill here, don't you, Finn? He says, yeah, I just chill here. Alright, let's take you and show you, I'll show you his enclosure a little bit, and maybe I'll show you some other bearded dragons that we've got. Alright guys, so here's another bearded dragon that we have here at Wilson Exotics, and this is our littlest one, our baby. I think we've named her Peach or Princess, and she is kind of lively. I'm not gonna lie. We've had her for probably 6 months, and she was hatched out as a little bitty baby. I got her straight out of the egg. And we raised her. She pancakes out. A nice belly. I'll get y'all a good show of her because she is a genetic stripe. Look at that. The genetic stripes coming down her. She's a real pretty baby. But this is about the size of what you would buy in the stores typically. It's something about this size. You always want to make sure that when you're looking in stores, you want to buy a meteor dragon. Just because if you don't buy a meteor dragon, sometimes those babies are pretty fragile and they can just tip over and that's it. You know, or a bug crawl up and bite and chew on them. Especially, I don't really do crickets for a lot of my babies because if you don't get all the crickets out of there, sometimes the crickets have tendencies to attack the beardies. And if they are small, if they're like the size of your pinky beardies, a cricket could do some pretty good damage. So I'll put Peaches or Princess, whatever her name is, up.
I just didn't know we were going to put them.
Oh, I didn't put them right here. I think it's good.
We hadn't washed them up yet.
Oh, yeah, that's good.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Let's see. And then we got Charizard. Charizard was my brother's dragon, and she is a blood red. I don't know what she is. What are you, Charizard? She got big blue bars. She's nice and red, so you can definitely see they come in a variety of colors other than just the pale. I'm gonna bring her up so you can get a close look at some of the blue bars. If I can get her pancake out again. Come on, pancake out. She said, you know, I'm not gonna pancake out for you now. And you can see she's got some big blue bars. See, and I'm just very friendly. I'm very friendly. But she is a shorter, stockier dragon, and this is her at full size. Now, I wish I had a picture of my mom's beardie. My mom's beardie is like, compared to everybody else's. But she might actually, or he might actually have some giant line in him. And that's another thing you got to look at. So with beardies, there is a whole bunch of morphs. Depending upon the morph, depending upon the person who worked that morph, is how much the beardies are going to range. Typically, you can buy beardies anywhere from, say, $75 at maybe a local PetSmart. Maybe I would say a good quality one is probably going to be about $100 to $200 at a pet store like what I worked at down at North Georgia Exotics. You're going to range from there, and then you're going to go up a little bit more when you start getting into the morphs, which we also sold at North Georgia Exotics and other places. The morphs, like these fiery reds and stuff, they're going to go for like the $300-400 and even more in some cases. And I think I just saw some zeros recently, which would be the all white ones, going for like $5 to $6, I think is what it was. So let me put her back and then we'll go. For enclosures, you can see our baby in here is our first enclosure. The enclosures that I've built, these are all full concrete made out of what used to be a utility rack, and I actually encased it in wood completely. And then when I encased it, I concreted all of it so that all of the dragons have concrete encased with lights in them, so they are basking on everybody. Sorry for the screens being they scratch them up. Kind of cheap plastic that I built it up. The only one, Charizard here, who is actually on dirt is because she is a female and we have paired her up to my boy Finn up here. So hopefully we'll get some eggs at some point. We may not, who knows? That's always the trick. But these are their enclosures. So mind you, they don't need a super lot. Most of these enclosures that I have built, if I back off a little bit, they're about a 40-gallon size. And I run UVB, UVA lights in every single one of them, so that way it covers the entire thing. And most of these enclosures, they're running at like 100 degrees on the hot spot. If they get a little bit closer, if they get too close to the light, it's probably closer to about 115. But I give them all water bowls. You have to be careful though with this, because in Finn's case, if I fill his water up, it will fog out this entire enclosure. Even though he'll have a nice pond, it could damage him a little bit on his intake. But these are the enclosures, and these are our bearded dragon.